Hello guys and welcome to my new video, and today we'll be looking at Restoration Shamans and the changes that have been made in the last week or so. And there's only a couple of changes that have been made to the talents, but those talent changes are quite significant, or at least there's something that I didn't even see at the start. So first of all, you have to look and you have to see that the crashing waves in tier 30 right here is removed. Crashing waves is no longer here. For the people who've been following the BfA videos, they know that crashing waves has been, let's say, nerfed, or at least changed, so it no longer gave an additional tidal wave proc from using Riptide. Instead, he actually buffed tidal waves by 10%. Some people liked it, some people didn't. Either way, that's completely gone. Blizzard decided that it was not a satisfactory way of playing Restoration Shaman, and they completely removed it, and instead they've shifted Echoes of the Element into the tier 30 spot. And all of a sudden, you have this very, very powerful talent that was used a lot in Legion in the tier 30, which I'll talk about later on. But either way, you're reading this and you're looking at the talent tree and you're like, okay, so I'm speaking to Cloudburst, but Cloudburst replaces Healing Stream Totem. And Echoes of the Elements gives you 2 stacks or 2 charges of Healing Stream Totem. What's gonna happen here? So what happens is that you actually get 2 Cloudburst Totems. You actually get 2 Cloudburst Totems, which is actually very, very cool. The fact is that you still don't have Healing Stream Totem because Cloudburst Totem replaces it, but now you can take or make use of the 2 charges you have of Cloudburst. So how does this whole charge system work? Because you have to cover how these charges actually work. So for a lot of people, when they read it and they say there's 2 charges of a certain spell, it doesn't really work to the same extent or to the conventional thought process of having 2 charges. For example, you have 2 charges of Riptide. Riptide has 6-second recharge in the BfA. So if I use up my Riptide straight away, if I keep using them, you'll notice that I have to wait 6 seconds for it to come back up. But the fact is, only 1 charge is coming up at the same time. Only 1 charge is coming back up. Not both of them, only one of them. So you have to consider the fact is that if I keep using my Riptide over and over and over, every time it comes back off cooldown, if I keep doing that, I'm not really getting those 2 charges, only at the very start, but I'm not really optimizing it. So for most of the spells, and it's the same way that Prosperity works for Swiftmen, for Resto Druids, it basically encourages you to not use them on cooldown, to kind of wait a couple of seconds, to maybe use them at scenarios when you really, really need them, and when you stop using them on cooldown, you'll get more benefit out of it when using talents that give you these charges. So usually these charges are not as good as they sound. But the fact is that Cloudburst Totem is a little bit different because Cloudburst Totem has a usage of 15 seconds. So you actually have to use it for 15 seconds in order to get the best use out of it and things like that. So let's say, for example, if I'm using I have 2 charges and I'm using them up at the very start. I lost them. I don't have any more charges and I'm right now waiting for my Cloudburst Totem to come back off cooldown, which is going to be 30 seconds. The fact is the Cloudburst Totem lasts 15 seconds, and during those 15 seconds you want to make sure to use the best healing abilities that you have and things like that. And the fact is the Cloudburst Totem still affects overhealing and effective healing, so that hasn't changed. So you can overheal without being punished. So right now my Cloudburst Totem is about to come back off cooldown. I'm gonna use it. So I'm using Cloudburst Totem. I'm gonna try use all my healing abilities that I have, try and make a best use of effective and overhealing in order to put all of the healing into Cloudburst. So what happens right now for the 15 seconds that I'm using this Cloudburst, you'll see is going to pop. My second Cloudburst is being used as well, or it's coming off cooldown, and I only have around 15 seconds for it to come back up. So just the nature of Cloudburst Totem, because it is a spell that is 15 seconds long, unless you actually pop it earlier yourself, just the nature of the spell like feeds into this charge system, because it doesn't feel that bad even if you use it on cooldown all of the time. It doesn't feel that bad. So all of a sudden I'm quite positive, I'm quite happy about this change. It's fun to see. Like, I mean, if you had 2 Cloudburst Totems available in Legion and things like that, it would be actually insane. But the fact is the Cloudburst Totem is nerfed in terms of, or at least indirectly nerfed with Ancestral Guidance removal, with the fact that it replaces Healing Stream Totem. But it's fun to see that Blizzard is giving you this build that is kind of for the people who love that Cloudburst Totem. It's for the people who love to optimize Cloudburst Totem and things like that. So it's fun, and I actually really kind of like this. So let's have a look at the new talent that's been introduced because Crashing Waves was removed. So in tier 90 you will see that you have Flash Floods. When you consume tidal waves, the cast time of your next heal is reduced by 20%, so you gain like haste reduction in casting time, which again inherently can cause mana issues, so you have to keep that in mind. We'll talk about that a bit later on. So you get Flash Floods, which is basically another rendition of the artifact trait Queen Ascendant. Queen Ascendant was a bit more RNG, dependent on your direct heal criticals in order to reduce the cast time. So Flash Floods inherently is way more controlled. So you have this kind of combo, or at least a healing rotation, to all of a sudden like generate a tidal wave. You can generate tidal waves by using Riptide or using Chain Heal. And then you want to consume a tidal wave. You can consume a tidal wave either through Healing Wave or Healing Surge. Once you do that, you'll notice that you get a buff, Flash Floods, at the cast time of your next heal is reduced by 20%. So all of a sudden, which heal should I use it on? Should I use it on faster healing rate? Should I use it on faster Chain Heal? Because Chain Heal is quite a slow cast time. So you have this kind of rotation already emerging if you end up using this talent, Flash Floods, Riptide or Chain Heal, depending. Riptide and then generating tidal waves, then consuming tidal waves either through Healing Surge or Healing Wave or Healing Surge, and then using your best judgment to use the next spell, which is going to be way faster. Like I said before, this could cause some issues with mana if you're not very careful, because let's remember, reduction in the cast time means you can maybe cast more spells means more mana usage and things like that. So you have to consider the usage of tier 90. Tier 90 straight away, Echoes of the Element, Flash Floods seems like a great talent build for 5-man dungeons, because mana is not that much of an issue. You want fast heals. Fast heals means you can save people who are low. So it seems pretty good. And on top of the fact that Echoes of the Elements give you 2 lava bursts, DPS is quite important in 5-man dungeons. So all of a sudden you have a very strong build with Echoes of the Elements and Flash Floods. So this is the reason why I said at the very start that I'm not overly happy that Echo of the Elements was placed in tier 30, because all of a sudden you have Delusion Earth Shield, which maybe are devalued because they don't feel as strong as Echo of the Elements. Before, when Crashing Waves was still here, there were, let's say the nerfed version of Crashing Waves was still in tier 30, you'll be like, ooh, I'm not sure which actually spell to, or which talent to use here, because all of them seem to be, not amazing, but, situational. Right now, it feels like Echoes of the Elements might be the way to go for nearly every situation. Of course, this is beta, numbers change and things like that, so this is just the way that I feel right now. And let's consider this as well. Let's say you're doing a raid scenario or whatever. Maybe you can look at Cloudburst Totem. You can genuinely look at Cloudburst Totem as in terms of saving mana, because if you look at Cloudburst Totem, it's only 344 mana. Your Riptide costs you 320, so it's just a little more expensive than your Riptide. But the fact is, you have 2 charges of Cloudburst Totem. Once you activate your Cloudburst Totem, you will generate a lot of free healing. Well, 344 mana to cast it, but that is relatively nothing to the amount of healing that you can generate. So in hindsight, this becomes like a way of saving mana, or being very mana efficient for those longer fights, longer bursty fights, where you know when the burst is coming and things like that. So there's a lot of ways, or a lot of different builds that might emerge from this, but right now my concern is Echoes might be a little too strong in tier 30. Tier 90 feels actually pretty decent. We'll have tier 90 hinges on how much Healing Stream is going to heal for. Right now, I have no idea in raiding scenario how much Healing Stream could account for, like in terms of percentages. The fact that Cloudburst Totem removes or replaces Healing Stream Totem is going to affect the viability of Healing Stream Totem in raiding scenarios. So if Healing Stream Totem ends up being quite a decent increase in terms of healing, maybe you'll go in Flash Floods and things like that, or Downpour in raids as well. But this has been my overview of the changes to Resto Shamans. This has been my overview of the changes to Resto Shamans. The 2 Cloudbursts, which are quite exciting. I'm really excited about to test it in raids as well. I'm excited about the Flash Floods. It seems like a pretty cool talent. Like I said before, we have to see how Delusion Earth Shield shapes up when compared to Echoes of the Element. But please let me know your opinions about this. Leave a comment below if I missed out on something, if I missed out on some talent synergies between different talents, or if I missed out with like possibilities of flash floods being used somewhere else or echoes being used somewhere else and things like that, leave a comment. I want to know your opinion about this. I want to know whether you're happy about these changes, whether you're happy about the 2 cloudbursts. Let me know, and thank you for watching this guide, and I'll see you in my next video.